Hi everyone, welcome back to The Whole Truth. I'm Gil Arbel, your attorney at law. Now that the preliminary hearing of Tyler Robinson is done, I want to revisit an interview that Tucker Carlson gave a few weeks ago. But before I play that, and specifically just one statement from the interview, just a little bit more of a background about myself. In addition to being a criminal defense and civil trial attorney, I also have been teaching and tutoring the LSAT, or the law school admissions test, for about 15 years. And what the LSAT primarily tests is critical reasoning. It tests your ability to analyze arguments and conclusions and determine if they're valid or if they rely on fallacies or flawed logic. And one of the important skills for the LSAT is to recognize certain words. Certain words carry a lot of weight in terms of logic. So for example, saying all X's are Y's is very distinct from saying some X's are Y's. Even if in practice, given in any given example, it means the same thing, logically speaking, those words matter. So I'm sort of trained and attuned to having certain words jump out and ring alarm bells. So given that, let's play this clip of Tucker Carlson.
Roll the clip.
Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Yeah.
And he was not murdered for his opinions on transgenderism, obviously. He was, I believe, and most people who knew him well, as I did, and was friends with him as I was, believe he was most likely murdered for his evolving views on Israel.
We just see. Tucker Carlson said, Charlie Kirk, the reason Charlie Kirk was assassinated, obviously, was not because of his transgender or views on transgender issues, but most likely because of his evolving views on Israel. Now, the word that really jumped out at me was obviously, because Tucker Carlson just throws that in there and doesn't provide any evidence. I mean, obvious to whom? Why is it obvious? Well, what's the reasoning? What's the evidence? Because the prosecutors and even Tyler Robinson's defense lawyers don't seem to think it's obvious that at least some part of Tyler Robinson was motivated by Charlie Kirk's views on transgender issues. But Tucker Carlson just throws it out there, doesn't provide any evidence or basis for saying that it's obvious. And it really fits a pattern with Tucker. He throws in these words where basically he's implying that if you disagree with him or you don't share the same view, then you must be dense or dumb or naive or just not privy to the same information that Tucker Carlson is, given that, you know, he was Charlie Kirk's friend or something. So he has all sorts of information that he won't share, but it's obvious that Charlie Kirk was not murdered for his views on transgender. Now, in a court of law, I don't get to do that. I don't get to just say to the judge, Your Honor, my client didn't do the crime, obviously. I rest my case. I don't get to just say, Your Honor, that witness is not credible, obviously. The judge will look at me and say, well, can you explain why it's obvious? Like, well, what's your reasoning? What's your evidence? But Tucker Carlson doesn't provide any of that. He just says it and tries to imply that anybody that disagrees with him must be dense and unable to see the obvious. So I encourage anybody to just pay attention to these rhetorical techniques by Tucker Carlson, because he uses them as a way to avoid actually making any arguments or presenting any evidence. And it should jump out at you whenever anyone, not just Tucker Carlson, although Tucker Carlson does this all the time, but whenever somebody employs this technique, you question, What makes it obvious? Why is it obvious, and how did you arrive at that conclusion? So that's the whole truth.